Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome. Untangled. Episode 71. Really excited to be here with you guys for this one. For those of you that are new to my channel, this is a weekly series called Untangled. And basically, I talk about the evolution in human consciousness, what we're doing here, why we're here, and really, more importantly, how to make everything that is extremely uncomfortable and that a lot of people don't talk about, making it normal, talking about the stuff people don't like to talk about. And in so doing, we normalize it. And I think more than anything right now, we need to normalize the uncomfortable. We need to normalize the negative, the dark, the thing, we need to normalize what the heck we're doing here on this planet and what this energetic shift is all about. Otherwise, we are literally standing in a room with a pink elephant and pretending that there isn't a pink elephant. This is a no-nonsense pantyhose, what we are going through. And all of you incarnated onto the planet in the physical bodies you find yourself in right now in order to go through this. And so it is not all rainbows and unicorns and positive vibrations and let's find heaven on earth right now. This is about the polarity duality of this planet, and that the only way through this is to really look at all of that in which we have been programmed to be in. So it's the uncomfortable. So thank you for being here. Like this video, please like it, and then like it, and then like it, and then like it, and then like it again. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So that you can be notified when I go live. You can be notified when I upload videos. And share these videos. I think a lot of times we watch videos and we're like, oh, this super resonates. But we don't share it with people. And many times there are many people in your world that would benefit from these videos, whether they're mine or someone else's. So share. Okay. And we live in a silly world where we have to tell people to like videos. Helps the algorithm, which is also ridiculous. Hell's an algorithm. Silly world we live in. Okay. I have a couple announcements, and then we're going to get going. Okay. I don't know why I just did that. Okay. First, I have started sending out a weekly newsletter every Sunday morning. And in that weekly newsletter is a free guided meditation. So far there's been 5 that have been sent out. I do not inundate your inbox with all kinds of other stuff. I respect your email space. But if you are interested in receiving a free weekly guided meditation, they're about 7 to 10 minutes. Join my newsletter, and the link is down below in the description. You'll get the link for the entire meditation library. So I think there's like 8 or 9 in it so far. Number 2 of my announcements is that I am going to be doing a in-person 3-day workshop at the Art of Living Retreat Center in Boone, North Carolina in April. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be out of this world. So much fun. I cannot wait. We will all be hanging out in the same place for 3 straight days, breakfast, lunch, dinner, evenings. And so the link is down below if you want to join me live in person in Boone, North Carolina, April. I also want to talk about my Patreon community really quickly. I do have a Patreon community. It's where I do all of my channeled messages. I give away free sessions. What else do I do there? I do a free guided meditation, group coaching call, energy update. That link is down below. Okay, and last but not least, the newsletter link is missing. Oh, okay, I'll fix it. Last but not least, I am going to Africa, which I think I've shared with a lot of you guys. Thank you, Annie, for the super chat. I'm going to Africa on Saturday. And I'm taking all of you guys. Thank you, Mary Jo, for the super chat. You're amazing as well. I'm taking all of you guys with me to Africa. I'm going by myself, and I really don't know what to expect. I know that there will be a lot of different experiences that I'm going to have, a lot of breakdowns, breaking opens. Um, and I've never really shared my own personal travel with the community. But I got really, really, really powerful, potent guidance to share this trip with everyone, and so you're coming with me to Africa. So stay tuned for that. If and definitely, yeah, there'll be videos on YouTube, a lot of stuff on my Patreon community, and I'll be posting on stories and stuff. All right, so that's it. Let's get going. Let's get into today's topic. Okay. How are you guys doing, by the way? How are you? Where am I going in Africa? I'm going to Kenya, and then I'm going to Uganda, and then I'm going back to Kenya, and then we'll see where I'm going after that. So yeah, I don't have any fear about the travels at all. Um, I think the United States may be more dangerous than Africa at times. Anywho, how are you guys before I get going? Just waking up. I'm okay. Check out Zimbabwe. Excited. I'm in Kenya. Awesome. Yay. Lots of stuff happening in my life. I feel heavy. I feel out of alignment. Um, I'm doing okay. All right. Well, let's get to what I wanted to talk about today. And everything I talk about, of course, is what I'm experiencing in my own life. And so, one of the things that I have been really feeling into this past week is the recognition or remembrance of, I mean, this is always what I talk about, but truly recognizing, remembering, feeling, and being what's happening on the planet, which is beyond any sort of understanding of thought or philosophy or a book or any knowledge that you can hold around this. There is a shift in being. There is a what I like to call like the new human or the advanced human that we are stepping into. It's not out for debate. This isn't something that's like, oh, maybe that's going to happen, or gosh, that would be kind of cool, right? The human, which is this physical body that's walking around that holds a soul, is advancing in its ways of being. Okay. Millions of years ago, the planet was at a much higher frequency than it is now. And the human was in a much higher frequency. The physical body was in a much higher frequency. And so all of these humans walking around this earth millions of years ago were being in very, very different ways. There wasn't the type of duality and polarity that you find on the planet right now. Right? There wasn't programming, there wasn't manipulation, there wasn't greed, there wasn't money, there wasn't divide, um, there wasn't consumption in the way that it is now. There wasn't this need for the external world to satisfy the internal world. There wasn't control. There wasn't planning of a future, right? There was a very present moment state of being. There was absolute trust in what is. There was this unification within humanity where each human knew that the other human was themselves. So there was no wars. There was no fighting. Um, the human understood the power of mind and the power of thought. And so they never tried to use it against another human. They knew how to create in a moment. They knew how to use the quantum field to create. They knew how to communicate without speaking. They knew how to move things without moving them with their hands. I mean, these are all things that we've already done millions of years ago, right? And this is how an advanced human, which is just a higher frequency body, is designed to be. And so when we look at where we are right now in 2023, about to go into 2024, we are slowly stepping into, literally, we're in kindergarten in terms of stepping into what we were millions of years ago as souls in these much more advanced physical bodies. And so this is the beginning of our journey of becoming a more advanced species, a more advanced human, right? Um, where you're already experiencing this, but the intensity, the issue or the problem around what you're experiencing and I'm experiencing is that regardless of whether you want to be going through what you're going through or I want to be going through what I'm going through, this is an energetic field. It's an energetic world. So there's only so much that there's only so long that we can stay in our minds and in our thoughts before we have to drop down into body and we have to start feeling. And we have to start feeling everything, right? And that's why I talk about, thank you, Steve, so much for that super chat. I love you guys so much. And that's why I'm constantly talking about feeling, the feeling state, because it's the only place that we are going to reside in as we continue to move into these more advanced states of being. I actually made notes, which I never do for Untangled, but like so much of my world is changing right now, and this is one of them. Um, so you're going to start noticing, and you probably are already noticing that you are starting to be in new ways that are going to be subtle. You're starting to not plan as much. You're starting to let people go in your life and let them have their opinions and let them walk away. You're starting to trust in something bigger. You're starting to allow the fear to just be there. You're not listening as much. Maybe you're starting to listen to your thoughts even more and questioning them. You're probably feeling in ways that you never have before. And you're starting to recognize, wow, feelings come and go quite often now, right? You're definitely starting to realize that you have to use your voice more and you have to hold firmer boundaries. You're probably starting to recognize that there is some sort of collective energy that you're feeling that is definitely not you, right? Um, you're starting to look out into the world and you're starting to look out into the world. I'm sorry, I thought there was a rabbit on my tree, but it's a squirrel. That was so weird. And see the world through these more like magical, energetic lenses. So you're feeling the birds and the trees and the dogs and people and places more, right? Thank you so much for the super chat, Tanika. Appreciate that. This is just the advancement of the human. This is it's you're not doing anything special. I'm not doing anything special, and there's not enough books that you can read, videos that you can watch, courses that you can take that are going to help you do this. This is an everyday, moment by moment um, way of being. Recognizing that every day your life is going to be different and it's going to feel different and it's going to sound different if you're acutely aware of what's happening. Now, why is this different than any other time on the planet, right? Because I've said this before, this isn't like the 1950s where or the 1960s or the 1970s or the 1980s or the 1990s or the 2000s where it's like, yeah, I'm changing, I'm healing, I'm learning about my trauma, um, I'm getting rid of old patterns. This is very different what's happening on the planet right now because this is not something that we are in control of. This is a shift in the frequency of your body that you are not. I promise you, if you continue to think you're in charge of changing the frequency in your body, you are going to be in a deep illusion. Your body is changing frequencies simply and solely because it's on a planet right now where there is high frequency light coming into it. And you're not in charge of that. You're not. And that is how the body's frequency shifts. And that is how it evolves. The soul that you are does not shift. It does not evolve. A lot of people say the soul evolves in each lifetime. The soul just has different experiences. It doesn't need to evolve. It's in a much higher state of awareness. So it's the body that is evolving and the soul is going along for the ride. Okay, it's like a car that's going through all these thunderstorms and the soul inside the car is dry. The soul's clothes don't change. The soul or the passenger in the car, it doesn't get wet. It doesn't get dirty. It doesn't have to change its clothes, right? The car's shifting and changing. The car's doing everything. Okay? Not the you that you think you may be or the soul that you actually are. And so what's happening right now is there's such a huge amount of light going into your physical body right now that it is literally shifting and transforming you into new ways of being by continuing to show you the old patterns over and over and over again. And so what you are in control of is choice, how you're choosing to be. Right? And so as you are in this vessel and this vessel is getting cleansed out over and over and over again, the mud's going to keep showing you what you need to see, what you need to feel, what you need to hear, and it's going to require you as the one participating in this to choose new ways. That's the hardest part about this evolution. It's the most challenging part about what we're doing here on the planet. You can sit in meditation all day long and pray and, bring your body into a much higher frequency. But at the end of the day, when you come out of that meditation, and when you're no longer, thank you so much, Dewey, for that super chat. Really appreciate it. And you're going about your day, everything's going to settle back in, and all the guck, all the deep, deep programming and patterns that you've beautifully played out are going to start continuing to arise. And the simple action that we need to take is just doing things differently. That's it. Choosing new ways to be. An example would be if you are in a situation where you are constantly confused and you don't know which direction to go in, right? And there's this pressure that you have to figure out the answer. All right. And you're stuck in it. You're stuck in it. And this is just a familiar pattern. And there's a lot of pressure that you're putting on yourself to make this decision. I've got to make a decision. The more advanced human, the human you're becoming, right? The higher frequency body understands that there's no decision to make until the decision. Thank you, Jen, so much for the super chat. There's no decision to make until the decision is made. But as an energetic body, as me participating in this energetic world, I know that I have to be receptive to what's coming in, to what the decision may be. I have to be receptive, play around. Thank you, Richard, for the super chat. I have to keep my tentacles open, right? I have to keep the energy open. I don't know what's next. I don't know what decision to make, but I'm going to stay open, receptive, energetic. Energy is open. Energy is open. Energy is open. Not, oh my God, I have to figure this out. What am I going to do? I don't know what the right decision is. Closed in. Everything that's coming into your world right now is going to show you the way that you have always been. Guarantee it. And so all you have to ask yourself is, how would this look if I did it differently? And then do that and practice that. It's that simple. You're in a relationship or a job, okay? And you're miserable and you're unhappy. You have two options: stay in it or get out of it. If you stay in it, your option in terms of staying in this relationship or staying in this job that makes you miserable, stressed out, and anxious is to tap into this deeper frequency that's occurring in your body, okay? Which is, okay, there's energy shifting in my body. I am being open to being in new ways. I'm not comfortable or ready to shift into a new job or to shift into a new relationship or to get out of this relationship. Okay, great. So how can I still be in new ways while I'm in this relationship, while I'm in this job? How can I be in new ways? Well, a new way of being would be surrendering into it, allowing it, accepting it, having compassion for myself, knowing that this too shall pass, knowing that I'm in a flow state. If I'm in a flow state, then everything is in movement, and that what I'm in right now won't necessarily be forever. And that whatever I'm in, there's a deeper trust. That's the advanced human. The advanced human isn't like, oh my God, I'm stuck in this and I'm never going to get out of this. And this is who I am. And all the stress and all the anxiety that we put on ourselves. The more advanced human, which you are becoming based on the frequency of your body, simply the frequency of your body shifting. That's it. No need to do anything. You're going to continue to see the old patterns over and over and over and over. And you want to just flip the coin. We can do all of the other tactics, all the other things that the third dimensional world tells us to do. Learning about the attachment styles and learning about how trauma works and you can do all of that. That's fine. But at the end of the day, thank you, Vivian, for the super chat. At the end of the day, this is simply Very basic. It's just energy shifting into higher frequencies, providing you an opportunity in every single moment to see I'm just using this as a word. It's not truly the sense of it, but the old versions, the old energies, label it whatever you want. It doesn't matter what you label it. It's still frequency shifting. And so there is more and more light coming in to your physical body, gifting you the opportunity to see all the mucky shit. And then as you become aware of the mucky muck, you just flip the coin. You say, wow, this is evolution. This is the advanced human right here, right now. My misery, my suffering, and it's not yours, but this is what you say to yourself, my anxiety, my worry, right? Mine. It's showing you what you have identified as and attached to and how you have lived. And it becomes this, holy shit, wait a second. If this is truly true, what Lori's saying, and if you feel into the deepest core of your being, there's a part of you that knows this is actually what's happening. It truly is this simple. Thank you so much, Victoria, for the super chat. Humans complicate everything about what we're in. And it's a very third dimensional way of being when you complicate things, okay? Because everything is simply energy, and energy is very simple. Energy just does what it does, which is moves, constantly in movement, right? So the key to this right now, you guys, is recognizing there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you, okay? You're not doing this bad or wrong or poorly. This is how frequency shifts. This is what people call the awakening or the evolution in consciousness. It is truly, I want you to really tap into this for a moment. It is truly, simply, quite easily frequency increasing in your body. And when that increases, just all the patterns, all the old ways of being are going to come up over and over and over again. And you're going to be dragged by frequency into new ways of being. So one of the things that I have been feeling lately is around my work and how I show up. I've been very, very disconnected from my work. It's a very uncomfortable place to be when you feel disconnected or out of alignment, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys feel this right now in your lives. Like it just doesn't feel like you're quite clicked in, whether that's with the relationship, your job, your finances, making decisions. It's like something just feels kind of like not quite aligned. All right. So if I take my own advice, which I always do, right, that this is an evolution and that there is a shifting of frequency in my body, then I say to myself, and this is what I do, I say to myself, okay, what is being asked of me right now that is different than how I have been in the past? So ask yourself that. What is being asked of me right now that is different than how I have been in the past? So for me, it's a deeper sense of letting go, of not knowing what's next with my business. An even deeper sense of letting go, that I don't know yet what's next. And that I know that for me, it's a felt sense. It's a felt sense of knowing or being with what is next for me in terms of my service, how I'm going to show up in the world. And that's really uncomfortable place to be. Stepping into these more advanced ways of being as human is not easy. It is not easy. I was just saying this on Instagram. It's much different, more different when you're much different when you're reading a book about mountain climbing or reading a book about sewing or reading a book about, how to, I don't know, ice climb or whatever. Okay. It's very different to read about it and to understand it and be like, I've got this. I know exactly how to do this. And then to actually be in the experience of it and having to practice it. It's very, very different, right? And what you're doing right now is you're in the state of practicing being you're practicing being what it is that you've learned for so many years, that you've read for so many years, that you know to be true for so many years, right? You're now in it. Welcome. Welcome to being in it. Welcome to choosing in new ways that are completely out of your control. Welcome to feeling in ways that are completely out of your control. Welcome to recognizing thought that is completely out of your control. I'm going to tell you one thing right now that a lot of people aren't going to like. As we move into this more advanced state of being, you are going to be out less and less in control because you are becoming more energetic. And guess what energy doesn't do? It doesn't control. It doesn't care about its Q1 numbers or its Q2 numbers. It doesn't care what it's going to offer next. It doesn't care what kind of relationship it's in. It doesn't care if it has a great car or a beautiful looking house, or it doesn't care what kind of emotions it's feeling. Energy just is in each moment. It's just moving through one moment to the next moment to the next moment. Now you have this human concept that you play in, which is like an egoic structure. So there's choosing how you're going to be, right? So you're choosing, like, oh, do I want to stay in this house or not? Do I want to stay in this job or not? Do I want to stay in this relationship or not? Do I want to go and practice some sort of exercise? Do I want to go get my hair done? Do I want to get my nails done? Like, there's constant choices being made every day. This isn't about no longer choosing how you want to be in life. It's recognizing that at the same time that you're choosing how to be in life every single moment of every single day, you're also no longer in control. You're just not trying to control outcomes. And it's next level what we're doing. Um it's very much like what Jesus did when he had his 40 days of silence in the desert, fasting and silence in the desert. Then he came out of the desert after 40 days and he was sort of like baptized by John, right? Where his every ounce of his awareness descended back down into body, and he became soul in form. He became soul in body. He became God in form, right? And everything about his awareness and his way of being and how he was in the world was completely clicked in and aligned, right? That's what we're doing now, more and more. But here's the crazy thing about what's happening on the planet. And this is what I want to talk about with this personal experience that I had last week. What's happening on the planet now that's very different than 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, a million years ago, is that there are really, really, really nefarious kind of like dark energies in the collective field right now that are infiltrating our energy fields. And I'm not saying this to frighten you. I'm saying this because the more that your body increases in frequency, the more that you are going to feel energy. The more you're going to become super sensitive. The more you're going to call yourself an empath, right? All these labels, which I highly recommend not doing, because every single physical form is extremely empathic. It's designed to be. It's called energy. We're all designed to be energy, feeling energy. That's our natural state. But we've labeled these terms because we label everything. And also we make it seem as if it's, a certain, like, oh, it's not okay, or, oh, I'm too sensitive, or, oh, I feel too much. It's like this evolution in consciousness and this process of increasing frequency in body, this advanced human that you're stepping into, whether you like it or not, is all about feeling more and more and more and more and more. It just is that's just what's going to happen. And so there's this energy field around you, like a little bubble or a cloud. Okay, it's around your physical body. and it's like a bumper car. So everything that you are engaging in is also energy. This cup, this phone, this microphone, the trees, the people, the animals, all of it is an energy as well. And it bumps into your energy field. Okay. It's like bumper cars. The advanced human and the human that you are right now is designed to have this beautiful sovereign field, and nothing comes in or out of it. Well, what's happening right now is because the human is becoming more energetic, okay? So they're feeling more and more. They're starting to feel more and more of these energies around them. There's this navigation right now. We're trying to figure things out. We're trying to figure out, wait, is this mine? Is this not mine? Is this entities from somebody else that's coming in? Are these like collective flea thought forms from the external systems coming in? Like, what's going on here, right? Lots of discernment and figuring things out. Here's what I want to share with you. There are a lot, and this will continue in the coming year. There are a lot of collective energies that I'm calling kind of fleas. Collective thought forms like lack, unworthiness, insecurities, fears, anxieties, stresses that you think are yours because they've been with you most of your life. But there are these collective thought forms that are getting more intense on the planet, that are kind of infiltrating into your energy field as these little fleas that are magnifying those thoughts that you have. So it's almost like it's putting, it's igniting the flame of those thoughts even more. And so a lot of you are thinking that you're literally going crazy because they're not stopping. And in fact, not only are they not stopping, but they're getting more intense. And this could also be emotions and emotional states and people. People in your lives from the past and people in your lives right now. Whether you want to believe this or not, or hold on to this or grab this, there are entities that are in a lot of humans. And these entities are like kind of fleas. Okay. This just is what it is. I've experienced it. I'm only sharing it because this can really help people that don't understand what's happening. Entities that come in from other people, it's not like that person is choosing, okay, to throw, to infiltrate your energy field. They don't even know perhaps that there are these little entities, and entities are like energetic fleas that try to pull you out of sovereignty. They try to pull your light out of the body. It's all over the planet. I mean, thank God we can't see this, because we'd literally lose our minds. We would never leave the house and we would go psychotic. I'm not kidding. There's a reason we don't see energies the way we are, we could. So if there are people in your life, people that you have stepped away from, people that you have broken up with, family members that you're not talking to right now, I don't know who it is, but if there are people that just don't seem to be going away from your field, like you're feeling them a lot. There's thought forms coming in from them. You can almost hear them saying things to you, right? And maybe it's just like these repetitive things that they've said to you in the past, or things that they've thought about you in the past, or how it was with them, whatever that is. Okay. And this is not going away. It's very possible there are entities coming into your field. And this isn't something to be afraid of. This is necessary to sort of understand, because you're becoming more energetic. And so I want to share at what I did last week that immediately and instantaneously cleared these entities. Okay. And also the thought forms. I'm telling you, it happened instantaneously. And if you're in my Patreon community, you did the guided meditation. Um, and I've received feedback from a lot of people that did it. And it's like completely shifted them. So if you want to do the guided meditation, go into my Patreon community. We just did it on, what day was it? Sunday. Here's what you have to do, though. You don't have to go and do that. Just do this, okay? If you are sick and tired of whatever massive thought forms aren't going away, okay? or intense emotions that aren't going away, or people that are in your field. Now, again, I want to preface this isn't bypassing healing or bypassing looking at your shit or bypassing having to feel. This isn't a bypass. This is for those of you that are in a very aware state that understands how to feel, that understands how to see your thoughts, that knows how to stand in everything that's arising, that isn't running from things, that isn't trying to find some sort of, you know, uh, higher world right now where you don't have to feel anything, you don't have to go through anything. This like, where's the rainbows and the where's the 5D planet, where's the 5D earth? Like, no, 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 no. This is for those of you that are grounded in this physical reality, capable of feeling everything, recognizing all of your thought, seeing all of your behaviors and addictions, and there is something much more intense happening. Okay. Way more intense than just you experiencing your own inner world. Here's what I want you to do. Okay. I call it the command and demand. um, Sit somewhere where you're comfortable in your house, a comfortable place in your house. Okay. And you have to really want this out. You have to command it like there is somebody coming into your house to kill you. That's the energy you have to have. All right. And you don't need to bring in some sort of other energy or some sort of angel. There's no cord that you're cutting. This is you as a powerful being, a powerful soul, a powerful spirit, commanding and demanding that this person is no longer allowed in your energy field. I'm commanding and demanding that ... Joe Schmo is no longer allowed in my energy field. I am commanding and demanding that any energy that is going into Joe Schmo's energy field ends, is complete, is cut off. I am commanding and demanding that these thought forms of unworthiness, that these thought forms of lack leave my energy field now. Now you have to understand this isn't it's a real touchy subject because I don't know you, and so I don't know your world. And so there is always internal work that kind of needs to be done in terms of what you're running from, what you're afraid to feel, what you truly believe to be you. You know, the thoughts of like I'm not worthy, I'm insecure, blah blah blah. All right, that's one thing, but you will know if this is you, if it's intensified to the point where it almost feels like it's out of control, like there is something so much bigger. It's like this heaviness, okay? It's a heaviness on you that's like, this shit isn't mine. Get this shit off me now. This is not mine. That's what it's going to feel like. It's not mine. And these people around you that have been in your life, whether it's somebody that's no longer in your life that was a friend or a partner or a lover or a coworker or who, family member, it doesn't matter. You're going to feel them. And it's like, and it's not about them and them being a bad person. It's just about entities coming into the field, and you command and demand that shit out. The moment I did this last week, I cannot freaking tell you that there were a few people that had been in my life in the past that were they were no longer around. It was like that energy was gone. 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 It's your responsibility as this a powerful, amazing soul to understand your power, to understand your energy field. This is part of like stepping into this more advanced human. It's not just about being in this state of awareness where you're like, oh, okay, all is well. None of this is me. It is what it is. Right? The world's going to get way more energetically intense because we are going through a massive, massive purging, a massive purging. We have to understand energy. We have to understand our energy field. We have to understand what we are standing in. That's why it is so, so crucial and critical to feel. Because the more you feel, the more you're able to understand what you're in. Oh, that is what we call anger. Oh, that is stress. That's anxiety. That's worry. That's fear. That's grief. This is uncomfortableness when I walk into this room. Oh, this is resistance around this person. Oh, this is feeling relaxed around this person. Everything is feeling. Everything's a feeling state. Everything. Thought comes in to negotiate and to give you labels and to make you understand this entire journey. But everything is energy. Everything comes down to energy. This whole world is about an energetic shift every moment of every day. And so, as this advanced human that you're becoming, you can't get rid of the intensity of feeling. It's not going to happen. And you can't meditate yourself out of it. You can't positive think yourself out of it. You've got to learn how to be in this energetic world over and over and over again. And it is not about putting labels on yourself, right? It's about learning how to be in the intensity of it all. Recognizing, remembering you have this amazing energetic field around you. Starting to tap into like, wait, why is this person continuing to come into my field? Why do I keep feeling them? What's going on there? Hold on a second. As a soul and body, I'm commanding and demanding that this energy be released from my energy field, leave my energy field. Watch what happens. If you feel like these thoughts and emotions aren't you, it's like this is so much more intense, right? Commanding and demanding that these collective energies that are not mine leave my field. It's just something it's a tool that we have that we can use that can assist us. And I guarantee you more and more of us are going to need this in 2024 because what we are in right now is not a physical battle. It's not a physical war, even though it looks like it. It's not. It's energetic. And so you hear all these people talking about like, oh, we're in this energetic battle. This is all just an energetic war. But do you understand what that means? Do you understand how to be in that? Do you understand how to be in an energetic battle or an energetic war? Do you understand how to be an energetic advanced human, which is what you're learning to do and learning how to be? It requires so much more uh, faith and trust in whatever's arising. It's no longer arguing with reality. Whatever is. And the more that you argue against it or try to get out of it or fix it or change it, the more you're denying what is simply gifting you with the opportunity to be in new ways. It's about letting indecision be indecision. Change happens when it happens. Decisions arise when they arise. You're staying receptive. You're staying open. You're staying like this no matter what's happening. It's about grounding so deeply into your body that every single moment that you have an opportunity to place your bare feet on the ground, you are. And you're feeling that electrical current going into the ground. You're feeling yourself so deeply standing in a physical body on a physical planet, much different than just learning how to ground, right? You're learning that everything that comes out of your mouth, right? Everything that you say has the potential to create your reality, right? You are stepping into a deeper sense of flow where you don't have to know the future in the way that you did in the past. That you can trust the present moment so deeply that everything is always going to be shown to you. You can recognize that there are collective energies around that are going to try to infiltrate into you, especially when you are watching videos. How do you feel? Especially when you're listening to people speak on podcasts. How do you feel? You're going to start to become more and more aware of the fact that what you're navigating and what you're going through is designed to be simple. Simple, not complex. And that a lot of what we are taught on this planet is manipulation of mind. And it works because the mind is that amazing and that powerful that you can manipulate your own mind and you can manipulate other people's minds for what you want. That's what marketing is all about. That's what sales is all about. That's what many times, um, you know, um, manifestation is really a lot about, right? And so this advanced human doesn't live in those ways. They're not trying to market or sell. They're not trying to manipulate. They're not trying to coerce, change. Um, it's a whole different level of being that you and I are stepping into. And so, what's going to happen? Put your seatbelts on because you think your life has already been changing, right? And it most likely has. It's going to change even more. For many of you, it's gonna your life is gonna simplify. You're gonna start living in this next year or two in ways that you never thought you'd actually be able to live. Um, so this isn't about changing your job or changing it's not about changing the external circumstances in order to be in new ways or live in new ways. It's it's about recognizing or breaking free from who you thought you were, right? What you've identified yourself as. People call it the ego, the death of the ego over and over and over again. But that's simply what's going to happen. Because there's millions upon millions of us that are going to live in the same way in the next 10 to 15 years with the same job, in the same house, with the same family, and it's beautiful. It's an amazing way to experience the human. There's many of us that are going to hightail it out and sell everything and maybe go travel or go explore or, jump from job to job. There are many people that are going to completely change the job they're doing. There's many people that are going to, you know, step into new relationships that they never thought they would be in. I mean, there's just a gamut of ways of experiencing this advancement, but it's not about the external world. It has nothing to do with the external world, meaning what you have or don't have, who you're with or who you're not with, what job you're doing or what job you're not doing. The now moment is going to show you. The frequency of the body is going to show you. If you follow your intuition, if you follow your soul's calling, you'll know what's next. You'll just know. And aside from that, okay, if what you're in is if your body is increasing in frequency and you're in something that you don't like, but there isn't anything arising to shift it, then the deeper ask of you for you is to settle into the now, is to start allowing the now, is to stop arguing and fighting against what is, and stop trying to find a way out, an outlet, right? And that can be much more difficult than the individual that's given, offered a new job and off they go in this new job and they're feeling amazing and incredible and they're like, oh my God, you know, I would argue that the one that doesn't have the new job and that has to literally allow the really uncomfortable feelings of being in a job they don't like, I would say that they are, um, they are on a more intense level, you know, 10.9 rock climb than many of us that are on like a 10.6 or whatever they call those scales of climbing rock. Um, but we're all in this together. And so your story is going to look different than my story, right? And our stories are going to look different than people's stories down the street or in a different city or state or country. Nothing needs to look the same. Nobody needs to be going through this in the same way. There is no right or wrong. There is no should or shouldn't. There is no better than. Oh, that if I'm advancing in as a human and my frequency in my body is increasing, then that means that I must leave my job. No, it doesn't. That is just the ego trying to understand all of this and comparing yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't compare yourself to anyone. because you don't know what's actually happening to that person behind the scenes. Don't compare yourself to any spiritual teacher. Don't compare yourself to any manifestation coach. Don't compare yourself to any life coach or anyone that says, I've got it all together and here's what you need to do to have what I have. Like, don't do that to yourself, because what you're doing is you're staying in these really boxed in third dimensional ways of being, where you're constantly comparing yourself and trying to follow in the footsteps of somebody else. And that somebody else isn't telling you all of who they are. They're not showing you their darkness. They're not showing you their shadow. They're not showing you the struggles that they're having. Thank you, Michelle, so much for that super chat. They're not. And so one of the deep, deep programs that we're stepping out of is this comparison that we do, and comparing ourselves to other people, and thinking that you're not doing it right, you're not doing it good enough, um, because you're looking at other people, especially in the self-help spiritual world. You're literally listening to these teachers and to people that are telling you how to do things and how to be. Um, And then you compare yourself. You're like, well, shit, that means I should be this way. Shit, that means I should feel this way. Shit, I'm not. That means there's something wrong with me. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. There is 1 billion% nothing wrong with you. You're the most incredible, miraculous, perfect specimen of a soul in a physical body that's shifting. You're doing the most miraculous, courageous, incredible freaking job. If no one's told you this, you're doing an incredible job. And if you could do it better, you'd be doing it better. So you're obviously doing it in the best way that you can. And nobody knows you more than you know you. Nobody knows you more than you. And what's going to be required of you and required of me and required of so many of us is to step out of these boxes, is to stop listening and following what everyone else wants us to do, how everyone else wants us to be, these protocols, these ways of being. The evolution in human consciousness, the body shifting in frequency, means that eventually we will be in very different ways than we are right now. Very different ways. And you and I are going first and stepping into these very different and new ways of being. And 99% of what you're going to see out there on the planet is still the old ways of doing things. And so we keep our hearts open and we have compassion and love for all of it. Absolute compassion for how the world has worked for so long. And then you start realizing, shit, it's not going to work for me anymore. And you still play in that world. So you still have a job in that world. You still have family and friends in that world. You still have, you're going to school in that world, perhaps, right? You go to yoga studios that are still in that world. Most of the world is still going to live in the world that we have been in that frequency of what you would call a third dimensional realm. But as each body is given the ability, permission to increase its frequency, all of these ways of being will start shifting. And because for whatever reason you have chosen to awaken into this before the majority of humanity, you're not any better. You're not special. You're just choosing to awaken before the rest of humanity. You then are going to perhaps suffer a tad bit more than the rest of them, because you have to go first. You have to figure out how to do this in a world where the majority isn't. And you have to go up against the grain. You have to go up against what is normal, what is acceptable. And you're looking around and you don't know how to do it because nobody else is doing it yet. And it is not about this toxic positivity that we can find in the world. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with energy and simply feeling. That's it. It's that simple. The fastest way through this evolution for the entire human collective is to get into the body and feel everything. That's it. Because the more that you can feel everything, the more you become energetic. And the more that you become energetic, the more you read the world through the energetic lens, not the thought lens, not the mind lens. And the more you do that, the more you trust what you are feeling. The more you trust what you are feeling, the more you trust what's arising. The more you trust what's arising, the more you find yourself in a flow state. And the more you find yourself in a flow state, the more you will find yourself in your highest version over and over and over again. And you will not run from life. You will not run from what's arising. You will not run from what you're feeling. You will not run from and try to create all of these ways that you think life needs to be in order for you to be able to feel safe and empowered. You feel safe, empowered, and free, sovereign, badass in the now by feeling over and over and over again, not by trying to be like someone else or do it like someone else. If you're in any situation right now in your work, in your personal life, whatever, and you are feeling as if this is no longer resonating in terms of how you communicate or how you be or how you're responding or react, then change it. Start coming back and realigning with what resonates with you, and watch how the more you follow your resonance, what actually feels right to you, watch how it will not only bring you into a much more empowered state, but you will start to realize that you're going to stand out. And the more that you stand out, the more that you are leading the charge for humanity. The more you follow your true north, your soul's calling, the intuitiveness, the knowingness, the resonance within you, not some famous person on Instagram or social media, not some amazing person that looks like they have their shit together in your world somewhere, a friend or a family member. No, it's about you, following you. And the more that you do that, the more you trust and follow you, no matter how crazy it looks, no matter how different it is, no matter what, that is how you are shifting and changing the entire human collective. That's how you change the world. Because then it gives other people permission to do the same. And if we continue to perpetuate the old programming, right? Thank you so much, Annie, for that super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we continue to perpetuate and stay in the old because we are afraid to step out and just be our freaking selves, the longer we are prolonging this advanced human that we're stepping into. It's inevitable. We're all going through it, not circumnavigating it, whatever it's called, navigating it. Thank you, Samantha, so much for the super chat. Command and demand. Do it. So this is why you're here on the planet. You know, this is why you're here, to explore life, to love life, to live in life, to command and demand the shit that no longer serves you, to feel everything, to trust in something bigger. And that if you are in a life right now that it feels very, very difficult, very challenging, very lack oriented, I encourage you to speak to life as if life has a essence to it. Speak to life as if life, it's like Avatar, you know, in part 2, or you know, the second Avatar, where they finally asked for the assistance of nature, and nature is what saved them. You know, not the animals and not the people, but this vibration of nature, of the tree, that life force. So ask life to hold you. Ask life to breathe life into you. There is this force of nature, of life around us. That's this vibrational pulse, that's guiding us as us. Um, so you know, nobody can do this but you. No one can do it. Anyway, all right, that's that. What else? Next Tuesday, I'll be in Africa. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm really excited to take you with me on my journey. I don't know how long I'll be there. I don't know how long. It's like it's up in the air how long I'll be there. Um, but I'm really excited to bring you all along with me and to share. I was shown that by my guides, I was shown that it's going to be intense, and, a lot of breaking down and crying and soul expansion. And the word I was given was heart. It's going to break your heart open. Break your heart open. Um, and the reason that I am doing this is to be honestly, it's to step deeper into my service. You know, the most important thing in my life is my work, serving. Um, and so I will literally go through anything in order to show up in a more aligned space for myself and for humanity. So be gentle with yourself, be gentle with humanity. There is so much going on. There is so many fleas in the collective field that it's inundating people. So give more love, give more compassion, give more kindness. Give more of you to the world. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling like that the world is coming in on you, go do something nice for someone. Say something nice to someone, give someone a hug, tell someone that they're doing a great job. um, Pay it forward. The world needs more of that. And please trust what you're in. Please trust what you're going through. Please try to remember as much as you possibly can what you're doing here on the planet, and that this is an energetic shift. This is a frequency shift in the body that is happening, that's going to catapult you from the old into the new. And so flip the coin all day long. How can I do this differently? How is this asking me to do differently? And remember that you're the soul in the car, driving along. You're here for the ride. You're on the ride, my friend. That's why you're here. I love you. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this video if it resonates with you, and if there's people around you that may value it in some way. And you're incredible. You're freaking incredible. Don't forget that, my friend. And I'll see you next week when I'm in Africa. Okay. I love you guys. Mwah.